Hare Krishna. So Krishna has described the occupational duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra very nicely. How and what each person does or each person is supposed to do in these different four varnas is described very nicely. Now Krishna continues this theme and is making a very important point in Shloka number 45 and 46. So let's see these two shlokas in this video. Shloka number 45. Sve sve karmanyabhirataha samsiddhim labhate naraha swakarma nirataha siddhim yatha vindati tachrano. So here Krishna is saying, Sve sve karmani abhiratah, by following his qualities of work. It's all that Krishna has described in the last few shlokas for Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Samsiddhim labhate naraha. The person can attain perfection. A human being can attain perfection. Swakarma nirataha siddhim yatha vindati tachranu. Krishna is saying, Tachrunu, now hear from me, how by doing these different activities one can attain perfection. So now Krishna is going to elaborate on this point, that how is it that just by doing these activities, see, externally when a person is doing some activity, it is like every action is going to have equal and opposite reaction. So he is going to actually get into a cycle of karma. So now the point is that if he is getting into cycle of the action and reaction, then how is he going to attain perfection? So for this, Krishna is elaborating very nicely in Shloka number 46. He says, Yatha pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. So here Krishna is saying, tam abhyarcha, by worship of the Supreme Lord. Who is he? Who is the Supreme Lord? Here description is given. Yatha pravrittir bhutanam, who is the source of all the beings. All the living entities that we see, he is that personality who is the source. And along with that, one more description is given. Yena sarvam idam tatam, and he is everywhere, he is all pervading. Swakarmana siddhim vindati manavaha. So a man, manavaha, can attain perfection. Siddhim vindati. How? Swakarmana, through performing his own work. Now here Krishna is saying that one should worship the Supreme Lord, who is the source of everything, who is pervading everywhere, by his own occupational duties. Now it's a very important shloka to understand. Sometimes people misunderstand these different shlokas and they create their own purpose and explanation. So let's try to understand from the Acharya, from Srila Prabhupada, that what exactly Krishna is telling us in this particular shloka. So in 15th chapter, in that particular shloka where Krishna is saying that all of us, every single living entity, is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. He's saying mama amsha. So all the living entities are my amsha, my part and parcel. So here it is said that thus the Supreme Lord is the beginning of all living entities. He is the source of everything. The first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra, it says Janmadhyasya yataha. He is the source of everything. So when he is the source of everything, there is something that is expected. The Supreme Lord is therefore the beginning of life of every living entity. So he is the beginning of everything. So now it's a very important point to note. In the 7th chapter, Shloka number 4 and 5, Krishna has very clearly described how the entire material nature that is there, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, these 8 elements are his separated energy. And then in Shloka number 5 he says, but there is superior energy of mind that is exploiting these inferior energy. So basically Krishna is talking about the matter, and along with that he's talking about the living entities, the spirit souls. Now it's very important to note that whenever we say Krishna, we are actually talking about the Lord and all his energies together. So here Prabhupada is making a very important point that Lord should be worshipped with his energies. And we as Vaishnavas, we have a very specific way of worshipping the Lord. So Lord is always worshipped with his internal potency or internal energy. Lord has internal and external energy. But then we worship Lord with the internal energy, and that is Srimati Radharani. See, so we worship Radha and Krishna together. And the perverted reflection or the perverted version of the internal potency in this material world is the external energy. And that external energy is none other than Durga Devi. So here, a very nice thing is mentioned. The external energy is a background. But the Supreme Lord, by the expansion of his plenary portion as Paramatma, is situated everywhere. So, external energy is there everywhere. So, whatever matter we see is nothing but external energy of the Lord. But then Lord is there in each and every atom. In Brahma Samhita, Brahma is saying, Andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. He's offering obeisances to Govinda. Brahma is offering obeisances to Govinda, and he's saying that you're there in each and every paramanu, in each and every atom. So when Lord is there in each and every atom, it basically means that this matter is just like a background and Lord is there, present. Now a very important point. He's there in each and every atom, and along with that, he's there in the hearts of each and every living entity. He's there in the hearts of the animals, of human beings, of the Devi Devtas, everyone. Everyone. So now see, when Lord is there in our heart and we are his part and parcel, then it's but obvious and it's natural that we are supposed to serve him. Because we are his part. He is our master and we are his servant. So we have to serve him. So now tell me, is it optional to do devotional service? Each and every person in this world is part and parcel of Krishna. He is the servant of Krishna. Now, where is the option? Where is second option of not serving Krishna? So, devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, is not an option. It's mandatory. Each and every person is supposed to render devotional service. If he is not rendering devotional service, then he is not a faithful servant of the Lord. Very simple. In fact, we can say that he or she can be termed as a thief as well, because we are using whatever Lord has given in this material world for our own sense gratification and not acknowledging the Lord by doing service unto him. By the way, Lord does not want our service, but it's our duty. It's our duty to render service to the Lord. Like, for example, parents don't need any help from the kids, but then kids, as a matter of duty, when they do it for the parents are blissful. Here Prabhupada is saying, everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesha, the master of senses. And by the result of the work in which one is engaged, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, should be worshipped. Now, if that question which we had, that how by doing occupational duties a person can attain perfection. So this is the mood which we need to have. If suppose someone wants to attain perfection, it's not just thinking that okay, I am working so it's worship. No, there's a mood that is needed. Without a proper mood, we cannot advance on the path of transcendence. No, not possible. So what is that mood that is expected? That is given here. So whatever occupational duty, according to our varna, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, we have to understand and realize and think that Lord has engaged me in this particular occupation. Now, if Lord has engaged me in this particular occupation, then what am I supposed to do? So I'll do the work. Whatever result I get, I use that in service of the Lord. This is called as proper service or proper devotional service. So when someone does like this, what happens? Here it is given. If one thinks always in this way in full Krishna consciousness, then by the grace of the Lord, he becomes fully aware of everything. That is perfection of life. So all the time a sadhaka thinks like this, that this particular activity that I am doing, according to my varna, according to my nature and quality, is given by the Lord. I am doing it for the Lord, and whatever results come, I'll use it in His service. So this is the thing that one should meditate on. May the Lord be satisfied by this particular work and the result. So this is the mood in which a sadhaka is supposed to work. It is not just saying, I'll work and Lord will be satisfied. No, that is different. That is concoction of people. I'll work with an understanding that Lord has engaged me in this work, and the results that I get, I'll engage that in His service. This is the proper mood and understanding and realization of a person who wants to attain perfection of human form of life. Here it is said, Tesham aham samuddharta. The Supreme Lord Himself takes care of delivering such a devotee. That is the highest perfection of life. In whatever occupation one may be engaged, if he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection. So Lord takes charge of such a devotee who is always meditating that Lord has engaged me, let me serve Him with whatever results I get. But then there is a catch, as I always say. Do we know which varna we belong to? Which varna? Are we a Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? Now the entire cultivation and education system is just making Shudras. And in this entire society of Khichdi, how can we find out which varna we belong to? Very difficult. Now sometimes people ask, so I am an IT professional, so what is my varna? Because I am working intellectually also. So am I a Brahmana? But then I am an employee taking salary, so I am a Shudra. So what am I? Which category I belong to? To be very frank, now entire thing has become very complicated. So one thing we have to understand is, in this complicated setup, the only thing that will help us is the most simple path and the most blissful path of devotional service. So whatever we are, one thing that we have to remember is, we have to practice devotional service. We have to chant the holy names of the Lord. We have to render service to the Lord practically using the entire body. Our eyes, our nose, our ears, our tongue, our hands, our legs, everything in service of the Lord. Tan, man, dhan. Our body, our mind, our wealth, everything that we possess, we can use in service of the Lord. We can be innovative in doing that. And we have to associate with devotees. We have to hear Krishna Katha. We have to speak Krishna Katha. We have to preach. So when we are doing all these things, and we are meditating on all these things all the time, so even those activities which might not come in the boundary of varnas and the activities of varnas still will be protected. Why? Because we are rendering devotional service. All the time we are thinking that how to render devotional service. All the time we are thinking, okay, I've got this much time, let me use it in service of the Lord. Okay, now this particular thing I did and this is the result that I have got. So how can I use this in the preaching mission of the Lord? So in this way, when a devotee keeps thinking, he is getting purified. And Lord takes the charge of the devotee to take him back home, back to Godhead. This is the best part of devotional service. No tension in life. Just keep thinking about how to serve the Lord, and Lord will keep thinking about how to deliver this devotee. Only thing is, we shouldn't exchange our roles. We shouldn't think, oh, how will I deliver myself? What should I do? No, that's not our job description. Our job description is, how should I serve the Lord? And Lord's job description is, how should I deliver this devotee? So in this way, here the answer is given that occupational duties, how can just by doing occupational duty one can be delivered? by having a proper mood and understanding that Lord has engaged me and whatever results I get will be offered in service of the Lord. Now, someone might say a person in the Vedic times, he might ask this question that I don't belong to this particular Varna, but then I'm inclined to do the activity of this Varna. Can I do it? Will that help me? And Krishna is answering this question in the next Śloka. So let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,